Started getting some of this clearing done. It's super windy today, so I didn't want to be running the welder. I'm afraid I'll burn the pasture down, which wouldn't be the end of the world, unless it jumps across the fence or something and burns my neighbor's house down. That would be bad. So anyway, we're running a chainsaw instead. Kind of cutting everything, getting it all on the ground and getting it pieced up. As you can see, everything's still just laying around. So this basically just cut myself away in here. The way they've got the road set up back this way, I can't get into the other side over here where my fence is going to terminate on the east side of my property line. Not very easily anyway, so I decided to start over here. So doing this kind of weird starting in the middle and then I'm working my way this way, kind of towards the southwest here. So, like I said, everything's still just on the ground, so it doesn't look like I've done a whole lot, but and I haven't. I've just barely got started. Ran one tank of gas through that still, which it does a surprising amount of work on one tank of gas. Pretty happy with that so far. I haven't used that new saw very much, but I'm liking it. So some of this is just deadfall. It's been here, so I went ahead and pieced it up just to make it easy to move, so I can get it out of my way. And then the goal is to clear a lane big enough to, I'll run my fence through here, and then I want to be able to get the tractor with the bush hog on both sides of it, keep it all clear. Bigger stumps like these, I'm going to come back with the backhoe once it's fixed. And I have my parts for my fuel pump, by the way. It's just a terrible, nasty day to be working on it, so I'm hoping this weekend the weather gets a little bit better. But anyway, just leaving myself a kind of a handle to get it and be able to push and pull on it. With the backhoe, rip those bigger root balls out. All of this stuff, if it wasn't so windy normally, what I would do is I would just start up at this point, I'd take a break from cutting and I'd pile up all the little stuff like this, big pile, and start just a bonfire, and probably end up with 2 or 3 of them by the time I get done for the day. And I just let it sit there and burn and just keep feeding it with all the sticks and limbs and stuff that are trash. But like I said, super windy. I don't know, it's not too bad down in here because of all the trees, but still I don't want to risk it, so we'll wait on that and I'll just get it out of my way for now. This sycamore tree, I don't really want to cut it down. This big one here, huge big oak tree, the way it's leaning, it's going to be leaning right over my fence, and it just doesn't look super healthy. So I did cut this piece of it down, which is right here. Left this in nice big long slabs here. I had to cut this end off. I don't know if you could tell, but it split and cracked all the way up into here somewhere as I was cutting it, because it was leaning about that much of an angle out over everything. So, but anyway, big long slabs. I'll bring those to my dad at some point, and we can get his Alaskan mill on them and cut up some slabs of sycamore. I read somewhere that sycamore is a really good lumber for making butcher blocks out of, with the end grain and everything, which makes sense. I don't know how easy it is to tell, but it's got like a really weird, dense, tight grain. So I guess, but it's not super hard. It's kind of soft, but dense, so it's a little bit different. Anyway, I guess that's good for making butcher blocks, just something he's talked about wanting to do. So I'll give him those and he can mill them up. And then the fence is going to run right through here. I went all through this in a different video, but I mean, it's kind of hard to tell probably what's going on just on camera. So some smaller trees here that I cut out. I may need to get rid of both of these, or maybe just this one. But anyway, it's going to run right across here. And then I'll have a pipe fence across this. That's about, I don't know, 8-10 feet deep. And then I'll put a panel down in there, and that'll be the only water gap I actually have on the whole property. So it should be pretty easy to maintain. Not too worried about it. And then we'll continue off that way. This tree, I'm gonna cut this whole thing up. I thought it was falling over, but I'm looking at it and I think it might actually still be alive. So I think it did fall over. Well, it did fall over. Well, no, okay, it's definitely got to be dead. It's still attached to the ground though, which is kind of different. And then there's like this one. I don't know if that's the same tree growing out of like the same stump, or if that was a different tree that just kind of, I don't know. So I'll probably go ahead and cut this one out as well. My neighbor is needing some firewood anyway, so once I get my path to the fence done on this side of my that little creek area there, right over this way, you can't see it, but there is a gate into my pasture over there, where the weaner calves are at. And so I think what I'll do is go ahead and basically just clear a lane back so that we can get in here with a truck and trailer, or tractor and trailer, or four-wheeler and trailer, or a mule and a trailer. Not the animal, that they have a Kawasaki mule. Yeah, I'll try to clear a path so that we can get back in here, and then they're going to help me clear a bunch of this stuff, like all this deadfall. A lot of like that might be rotten, but a lot of this that's up off the ground, that'll be perfectly good firewood. It's already dead, seasoned, been dead for years. It'll make great firewood for them, and I'll get some free help out of the deal to get a lot of this stuff out of my way. And then they'll get firewood. So, right over here somewhere, that's where that gate is. And as you can see, there's all kinds of stuff just on the ground already that we picked through and cut it up for them. This will be a problem. I forgot about this. It's going to be hard to cross. Well, my plan may not work the way I thought. Anyway, but we'll try to get in here. Let me look at all this. I wonder if this is any good. This looks pretty rotten. All this stuff's got to go though, eventually. And all these big down trees. Yeah, that ain't gonna be useful. It's too bad. Well, this may not work the way I was thinking in my head. I got to get around that. I don't know. Anyway, the gate's right over there. So, alrighty. Back to it. I may try to set up a time lapse, but I'm moving so much I don't know that I'll be able to keep myself in frame. I think it'll be a lot of work and probably a really poor quality video like this. So. Go back over there, and got the saw filled back up, ready to rock and roll, I think. I'll show you guys what I've done here in a minute. Alright, I got a little bit sidetracked from clearing the fence because I need to be able to get back there. And just because of like the way the pond is and stuff, I can't get any equipment back there to get to haul the wood out of there, and I'm going to have to get the backhoe in there eventually to rip out some of those bigger stumps. Right here, there's already a kind of a path cut through the woods and everything for a little ways, and it almost gets me to where I can get back to where I'm working. So I cut down some trees to work up this way yesterday. I ran into this just nest of Bradford pear trees. You know how much I hate those things. Anyway, it was a real pain trying to get through that, and it's just thick and nasty. I'll show you here in a little bit. So I came up here today and I cleared out this piece of the fence. I've already got the barbed wire down. The fence is pretty much loose. I got a few clips over there I still need to take off, and then I'll get this whole piece of fence pulled out of the way. This fence is coming out completely, this whole thing, all the way around to the road. That's all coming out eventually. And then I've got kind of an ace up my sleeve today for those Bradford pear trees. 3-point tree saw. So this is a homemade rig. I helped a buddy of mine build this. So I made that blade out of some piece of plate, and we used for the teeth, it's just railroad spikes. It's a little bit harder metal. And this is a gearbox off of a old bush hog that he had. And he's added a few things. He added this little pusher on here since the last time I seen it. But anyway, once I get this fence moved, hopefully we can just kind of back into those Bradford pears and just cut them all down, and then I can just use the bucket on the tractor to push all that crap out of my way. And then I'll have it opened up to where I can get equipment in there. And then that'll also let my neighbors get in there and they can help me so that they get the firewood out of the whole deal. So that's the plan. This has not been fun. All these vines. It doesn't look near as bad on camera as it actually is, but these things are just terrible. Like this whole thing, that's not a bush, that's just there's just thorny vines. So terrible. Anyway, that one right there, that T-post, it was all completely grown up in the vines, so I couldn't get the clips off of it yesterday when I was messing with it, but got it kind of freed up now, so hopefully it's gonna be a lot of work, but hopefully it's not too bad getting this panel, this field fence taken down. So all right, let me do that, and then I'll show you the worst part. This wasn't even all that bad compared to what I'm about to go do. So let me get this done. Alright, so this is the next project. I have to go straight through this. This stuff sucks. It's all grown up with honeysuckle vine. All these Bradford pear trees. They grow up in clumps like that. And then the other thing I'm going to run into is there's some downed cedar trees throughout this. So my goal, and let's see here, where am I at? So yeah, I need to come right through here that way towards, see these Bradford pears sticking up right there? That's where I'm aiming for. So I hope this tree saw works the way it's supposed to. I've never actually tried it, so yeah. Alright, let's give it a shot. Well, that doesn't work quite as good as I was hoping. See, it just kind of chews them up. But getting there, that's progress. A lot better than what I had. So, probably just finish that one off with the chainsaw. And then I think I kind of missed, actually. I would have preferred to come out over there, I think. Actually, this is a lot further than I expected, than I thought it was. A lot deeper. I haven't been able to ever walk through here. Still pretty nasty. See, it's not like you can even come in here with a bush hog because all these trees that are on the ground. I need to be over there. These ones. Ugh. Everywhere out here. Waging war on those since I bought the place. This is where I'm trying to go. right over here. So they've already come up and yesterday evening cut a bunch of this stuff up just so I can move it and get it out of my way. And this one also just cut into some pieces to make it easier to move. And then I'll be able to drive through here. So it's still, I mean, it's going to be rough and not particularly easy, but I'll be able to get in here with the tractors, four-wheelers, backhoe, that sort of thing. And then my fences, it's over there. Then I took down some other trees to make myself a path. And then I'll be able to get in here with a push hog eventually. But man, I still got a long ways to go. Ouch. That cedar tree there, I cut up small enough I should be able to push it around with the tractor. This one I still need to cut up. What else? It's gonna be a lot of work. This is where I need to get to. That's the cedar tree I thought I was looking at over there, but it wasn't. It was a different one. And this is, I'd started cutting these Bradford pears with a chainsaw, but it's just such a pain to get up in all this crap. Okay, so I was just kind of going the wrong way. I should have kept going. I'd cut, I can see my path over there. So, okay, I'm not as far off as I thought. All right, let me get back around there and we'll see if I can shove all this crap out of the way. Okay, well, that's not cool. That's not cool. Okay. Well, so I think what we're gonna do is I'll pull that off, and this, I gotta go get tools and the wheel. I'll run into town and see if I can get the bead set on that wheel. My neighbor's air compressor might do it. I'll try that first. This didn't, the tire's not popped, it just, whenever that broke and it turned sideways and trying to get myself out of a spot over there, it just unbeaded this side of the tire. So I might have to go to a tire shop to get that fixed. Anyway, and then this, I think I'll just try welding that back on there. That'll at least get me out of the woods. And then I guess I should probably replace that. So it was already bent. I thought about replacing it when I went through the steering the other day, well, a few months ago now. So good thing this tractor comes equipped with a jack for the front. Guess I could have shut that off before I made the video. Alright, walk back and get the four-wheeler, go grab some tools. Ranching. Alright, so this is the drag link put back together. Still got some slag and stuff on it, still a little bit warm. See on my final passes here, I ran them long ways. Can you even see that? It's not super pretty. I ran 70-18 on the top with a 60-10 down in the bottom. And I didn't show you because I had left my microphone and everything out at the where the tractors broke down. So anyway, sorry about that. What I did though is I ground a V-prep on both sides. So, or I guess both sides make it a V-prep. Anyway, so it was basically two kind of cones poked together, not a perfect point. And then I started with one of these really skinny little 1/16 inch rods just to fill that up. Those they penetrate in really nice, and with that 1/16 inch rod you can get in there. It's a little bit more accurate. And anyway, then I filled it up from there with 70-18. Now this is cast steel, so it's difficult to get a good weld on it. What happens is the edges of the weld, what they call the heat affected zone, will become embrittled. It gets harder and brittle, and it will be more likely to break. So this is not intended to be a permanent fix. Just trying to get the tractor back out of the woods, and I'm going to need it to feed hay while the replacement part comes in. So anyway, that's done. Finished up this H while I was over here. And so yeah, we tried my neighbor's little pancake compressor to reseat the bead on that tire. No go. So I ran into town to the tire shop. Well, it turns out they're all closed today. So yeah, we're gonna go try it again. So there's a couple tricks we can try. We'll put some soap on it. That'll help. That might help. It does help. And then we can take a ratchet strap around the outside, and put a little bit of pressure on it. And then if we get maybe another person on it trying to pull that bead up just to get it to seat, might work. So we'll find out. But those tractor tires are really hard to get the beads to seat for whatever reason. They're skinny, and yeah, even the tire shops have trouble with them. So anyway, if I can get that seated, then tomorrow I can put the tractor back together and get it out of the woods there. If not, it's going to sit till Monday, so no big deal either way. So I'm off work Monday, so no problem. One of the things I'm helping my neighbor out with this weekend is her bush hog is jacked up. See how much farther that wing came up than this one? So what's going on is there's supposed to be a bolt that goes right through here, and it sheared off, and then it's supposed to have spacers right here in the middle of it, but they were just gone. Kind of see that side. So we made up some new spacers real quick, and now we're going to use another tractor. We're going to push on it right here on this channel iron. We tested this yesterday to make sure we could do it, and it worked. So, but when we put the wing back down, it went back. All right. Boom, just like that. Hold what you got. So that's what we were looking for. So that sits on there just like that. It's backwards, so these holes aren't lined up right. So we'll probably have to go ahead and fix that, but just grinder and maybe weld some of that material back. But that looks like what we wanted. Just need to turn that one around. So very cool. Alrighty, that's fixed. So we're going to go ahead and repair this, and I got to clean this off. This little collar that goes on here, it won't go all the way on because of that, where that metal is kind of swaged out right there. So we'll clean that up, and then I'll weld this to fill up that little hole. Other than that though, the bolts are tightened. They all dropped right into place. Didn't hardly take any finagling or anything. They just fit perfect, just like I planned it. So pretty sweet. She'll have her bush hog up and running again here in just a little bit. Alrighty, so bush hog is all good to go. She just took it out and made a quick little test run. So everything's fixed on that. Pretty good deal. The other thing that I was helping her with this weekend, this little welding project, is you see this gate that's kind of inside right there. She had a problem last spring with calving. They were having to pull a calf, and the cow went down, and her back legs went underneath there, and they had a heck of a time getting her back out of there. And so she came up with the idea to build a kind of emergency escape gate right here. And so this is just kind of these barrel lock things that go through here. They're kind of tight. Better. So now they can open this up, let the cow out if she's stuck in there or whatever, or if they have one that doesn't take the calf, they can put the cow in here in the head gate, open this up, and then teach that calf how to nurse. So pretty good deal. And then last year I had actually framed this in. I hadn't cut it loose yet, and we'd built the hinges and everything. I also installed this gate for her. So this is designed as a palpation gate so that she can she AIs her cows, so she needs lots of room to get in there behind. And this one, it opens to the inside. Well, it doesn't open. Her cows are too long, so their butts are all the way over here. She can't open this to get in there and do what she needs to do to AI them. So we cut this in, put this gate in for her. And that was a long time ago. That was last summer. And then this is I made this for her as well. This is a kick bar thing. So you take a bar, slide it through here behind them, and then you can just move this forward. Oh, that side's a little stoved up. Anyway, like that is the idea, and you can bump that right up as tight behind their legs as you can get. That way they don't kick you. So pretty cool. We got her fixed up now though, and this is definitely something I'm going to want to build on my gates at some point, on my head gate. So cool escape gate, and then I like that big one back there to if I ever decided to AI, or maybe one of these days I'll have her come over and help me AI my cows. That'd be cool. But we got to have the right kind of pins to do it. So alrighty, we're all done here, so I think we're going to go have a beer and celebrate our accomplishments for the weekend, and then I might go back to chainsawing. Well, today's much nicer, less windy, especially in here in the woods, than it has been the last few days, so I decided to go ahead and start burning some of this off. Some stuff stacked here, I won't burn that, and of course I've got a ton to do. So all of these sticks and everything, or the logs all set aside, but all these sticks, and it just keeps going in both directions. I got plenty of fuel. So anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up here. So came out here and I did a little bit of chainsawing, ran 2 tanks of gas through it, and got quite a bit more done. Decided the weather's nice, it's beautiful out today, so decided I wanted to make a bonfire, and here in a little bit, watch this a little bit, let it burn down some, and then I'm gonna go get a cooler full of cold beer and grab some hot dogs, I think, roast over the fire. So that'd be fun. It's a lot of work, you know, trying to turn this into pasture, but if you enjoy it, it's not really work. So that's what I'm gonna do. One of the cool parts about, you know, this life is if I want to just stop and make a giant bonfire, sit out in the woods and drink beer and roast hot dogs, I can. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.